All right, so today we're going to start in on factoring, and this is actually an introduction sheet that I've used from our other textbook. So obviously we are not in 10.4. We are in section, what section? 7.5. Good, 7.5. So you may want to just make that change for yourself. This is actually day number 1 of 7.5. So if you wanted to change your title there, I am going to go through a couple problems with you. Actually, 4 of them. Hey, ladies, thank you. I'm going to go through 4 problems, and we're going to go through step by step on each one. And then tomorrow I'm going to add one more piece to it, and that's going to hopefully wrap up everything we need for a good factoring lesson. Okay? So these are broken into sets. Set 1 has all of these different forms. The format of ax squared plus bx plus c. Really what you're focusing on is those pluses. Set 2 has a minus and a plus. Set 3 has a plus and a minus. And set 4 has a minus and a minus. Now the reality is, the way I'm going to show you this, it won't matter what they are. Okay? However, just so you know, that's how they're broken up here. Alright? What is important to note when you're factoring is that standard form of a polynomial, a quadratic that we're dealing with, meaning x squared, is in the form of, and this is where you want to start your notes up, ax squared plus bx plus c. That is standard form when you're dealing with a quadratic. So the thing that's attached to x squared is your a term, thing that's attached to x is your b term, thing that's attached to y is your c term. Okay, or excuse me, not to y, but your constant out here is your c term. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, we're going to work through problems 1, 7, 13, and 19 together. Okay, so on problem number 1, the first thing I want you to do is, actually you can probably do it on your paper here if you don't write it too bubbly, okay, is identify your a, your b, and your c terms. So if you're doing that on your paper, fantastic. If you want to take some good notes, you probably would want to maybe give yourself some more room on this page or your note page as well. Maybe duplicate the work or just show it on your notes and then put your answer on your paper. I'm going to do it off the note page. So A is 3, B is 5, C is 2. How many got it? The letter X does not go with the A, B, and C. Just the numbers. So if there's not a number, what is it? It's 1, unless it's your C term. And if there's not a C term, what is it?
0.
It's 0. Okay, so those are some special cases. That's the first thing you need to do. I want you to do that on problem number 1. I want you to do that for problem number 7. Okay, I'm going to just draw a line here so I have plenty of room up there. Then I want you to do it for problem 13. And then do it for problem number 19. Okay. Number 7, ABC. Tell your neighbor what you put.
I got 2, 11, negative 11, and 5.
Very good. Make sure you have that negative 11, right? The negative goes with it. Number 13, tell your neighbor what you got.
5, 2, 6.
Yep.
Make sure you get negative 17. And number 19. Oh, is it 7?
Yeah.
Thank you. I copied it down wrong. Thank you. So that should be a 7. Good call. Okay, and number 19 is...
5, -2, -7.
Okay. Terribly difficult yet? Not too bad. Okay, yes, some of you are struggling. Okay, hopefully not too many. All right. Yeah, next part's fun. All right, so the next step we need to do is we need to identify, well, first I'm going to draw a diamond here. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be a diamond here in a minute. All right, trust me. Draw your X. Yeah. X is always, stealing the show. Come on, X. So we're going to make it a diamond here in a minute, okay? So each one of these will have their cool guy little diamond in a minute. Right now I know it's starting as an X. Okay? Now what we have is, in the top part, we are going to label A times C. Meaning we're going to multiply A by C, and we're going to put it in there. All right, so A times C, go ahead and write it in. What is it? 6. And in the bottom of our diamond, we are going to put the value for B, which is 5. Okay? ABC. All right?
Wait, what? Oh, no, 3.
A times C and B. Okay, so I realize some of you are like, I don't know why we're doing that. Right now you're just doing it because I know what I'm doing. And then you will know what you're doing here in a while. Okay, so stay with me on it. Has it been difficult yet? Not difficult yet. The next step is for you to start thinking of all the numbers that go into 6. So if I was over here just kind of listing my numbers out. Now you don't have to do this, but what's the first number that goes into 6? 1. 1 times what? 6. And then? 2 by 3. Now we've already done 3, right? It's right here, so you don't have to test anymore. You've got all your factors of 6. What you want to do is see which set of factors add up to 5 and multiply to 6. We know these multiply to 6. Which one of those add to 5? 2 and 3. Those are the numbers that go here. Okay?
Are they?
Now, let's make sure we're clear. This times this equals 6. That times, or plus that, add to 5. There's our little diamond in the middle. 2 by 3, multiply to 6. 2 plus 3, add to 5. Question?
Will that always work?
Well, yeah, as long as you put them in right. Yeah. I mean, if you can't find a set that will work, then you can't factor that equation, which means you can't solve for x, which means you have to use another method. The whole point of us doing this right now is to solve for x, to find out what x is. Okay? Not that x. We know x. Okay? But the x on the paper. Right? Not Xavier. Okay? All right. So, everyone with me still? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to fill in the diamond for number 7. Different boxes there.
1 and 10.
Let's see. Hey, what goes right here? 10. 2 times 5. A times C. What goes down here? Negative 11. So go start with 1 and 10. 1 times 10. Does that make? That obviously makes 10. Does it add to 11? Doesn't add to negative 11. Okay. How about 2 times 5? No. So how do you make a negative? Make both of them negative? So what if we go negative 1 and negative 10? Does that multiply to make 10?
Yeah, it does.
Does it add to negative 11?
Certainly.
It is fantastic.
I will.
I'm glad we agree. Nice. Okay. Try number 13. Fill it out. The other one should have reduced, right? Okay. Hey, A times C is what? B is 2. Two things that multiply to make negative 35 and add to 2. 7 and negative 5. Now, could I put it? Some of you may have put the negative 5 here and the 7 here. Is that okay?
No.
Yeah, it's okay. All right.
It really isn't.
Yep. Multiply and add. We're good. Okay? Doesn't matter if you put the negative 5 here and 7 there. That doesn't matter. It's just this little diamond thing is just a way to memorize, like what to do, a memory device. Okay? Here we also get negative 35, but this time it's negative 2, which means we are at
Negative 7.5.
yeah. Now the 7's negative because we have more negatives than positives. Okay? Not too bad? Bella? Yeah, here we need the 7 to be negative because we need 2 more negatives than positives. Here we need the 7 to be positive because we need 2 more positives than negatives. Good question. Okay, next piece. Here's where we get some fun. We're going to set up our parentheses. We are factoring. It's all right. And you know what? Filling in that should not have been tough so far, just like drawing parentheses. And the next thing is to put your letters in. Leave a little, well, we're going to put X and X. We're going to put, what here? This one's actually P. Letter here. And I'm just picking the letters out of here, and I'm putting 2 of them because it's an X squared. Okay? Next step. You just toss these numbers that you came up with, the 2 and the 3, you just toss them in here. It's plus 2 and a plus 3. Okay? I want you to do that for all 3 of those others. Toss those numbers in there that we came up with.
Wait, what about the other?
Okay, how many are there? Okay, so we take those 2 numbers, minus 1, minus 10. Take these 2 numbers, plus 7, minus 5. We take these 2 numbers, minus 7, plus 5. Okay, you have almost finished factoring. You have one more step. The key step, and it is the one that most students forget. It's the most common one to forget. Okay? We have got to now divide by A. We need to divide by A. Okay? So when I say we divide by A, that means we take whatever A is and we put it under that number and divide. Okay? It is not stupid. For crying out loud, Jason. This is totally smarticle. Okay? Yeah, I said it. It's not stupid. Or what? All right. Come on. So, what is 3 divided by 3?
1.
1. So we just reduce it. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Let him focus. Can you reduce 2/3? Is there anything that goes into 2 and 3 other than 1? Other than 1. I said that just because I knew you'd throw out that. Okay? Other than 1. All right? It is nothing. Okay, so therefore we just take that number in the basement and move it out here. Write it as 3x plus 2. You are now done factoring that problem. Tomorrow we will add the solution piece. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Hey, you guys, and just so you know, as Isaiah pointed out here, this answer right here, 3x plus 2 times x plus 1, is the same as this answer right here. You can flip them around, right? Because you're multiplying in any order. Either one of those would have worked as an answer. They're both the same thing.
What about?
Okay? All right. So what I want you to do is number 7. Okay? Finish that one up if you can. Hey, all right, we're dividing by 2. Okay, can negative 1/2 be reduced?
No.
Nope. So the 2 comes out front. Can negative 10/5 or 10/2 be reduced?
Yes.
To there's our answer. How many got it? All right, you factored it. Finish up 13 and 19. All right. Hey, dividing by 5. Divide by 5. We get 5v plus 7 and v minus 1. Okay, how many got that one? Well done. And divide by 5 again. Divide by 5. So you're going to get the exact same thing, except for it's now, well, it's x plus 1 and 5x minus 7. Yeah?
Is there any way we can just put x in the
Yeah, you know what, guys? On this assignment, if it's so confusing because the letters keep changing, I don't mind if you just use x's or just use y's. But when we're doing our online stuff, or if you're doing a standardized test, you better use the letters they use. Okay? So if you want to practice that now, get in the habit here. But I know that sometimes you'll be working away and you'll just use x's, and I'll be fine with that. Okay? All right, hey, that's all you're doing today. You're going to finish this page. Okay? Hey, you can do it on a separate sheet if you want. Make sure you change those 2 problems. Number 11 and 12. Otherwise, you are going to be hating life when you're finding all the factors of 36 times 11. Okay? That's a lot. See, is that number 5?
Yep.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you take a look at number 5. Okay, number 5. A times C. Should have got 60. B is 19. 2 things that multiply to make 60 and add to 19 are?
15 and 4.
Thank you. 15 and 4 there. Okay, and then we put it in our parentheses. We get z plus 15 and z plus 4. And then we divide by 12. And notice this one reduces. 15 twelfths. What goes into both 15 and 12? 3. So we get z plus 3 goes into 15 5 times, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. And we get z, what goes into 4 and 12? 4 does. 4 goes into 4 once, and 3. So you have 2 fractions there. That means on this problem, this number pulls out in front. Yep. Good. 4z plus 5 times 3z plus 1. Now, I was asked by, Mercedes asked me about this one. That's why I came up and worked it out. And then Lexi asked, hey, why are we moving these numbers out in front? Okay, it's not just so it looks cool. Notice at the very end here, if I remember when we were working on this earlier on and we found the product of this, where we said 4z plus 5 times 3z plus 1. We'd actually multiply that by that and that by that. You get 12z squared plus 4z, and then go that times that is our 15z, and that times that is our 5. Okay, when I multiply that out and simplify, put all my stuff back together, I better get this answer. I should get the same thing I started with. That's how you know you did it correctly. Okay, if I don't bring those numbers out from underneath there, when I multiply out, I'm just going to get a z squared. I'm not going to do 12z squared. That's the true factoring. You've got to bring that piece out. Okay, so our final answer there is this guy right there. Okay, good questions.